See, we're going to move on here. What are we going to move on to now? Oh, we're going to do a meme stock. Is that what we're going to do?
GameStop, yep.
GameStop. And I know they're in the news as well. I mean, something big happened. What happened with them, you said?
Yeah, so looking at the news here, Ryan Cohn, who's the CEO and chairman, he actually bought 500,000 shares on Wednesday and then also made another 500,000 share purchase on Tuesday. So he bought about 1 million shares in
Wow.
GameStop just this past week alone. I'm not sure, again, he's kind of crazy to me in terms of what he wants to do. He's talked about, again, buying Bitcoin and doing some crazy things with GameStop and making it more of like a holding company rather than an actual company. But, I don't necessarily know if I'd follow him blindly into this. I'm going to put it that way.
Well, the numbers don't look great at the start here. And again, GameStop is a company of symbol is GME, Specialty Retail. The short on the float is 16.1%. That's pretty high. Institutional ownership is only 39.6%. So a lot of people like him maybe out here holding the stock. A lot of, what was it?
Diamond Hands. It's your
Diamond Hands
your
and Kitty.
Roaring Kitties.
Roaring
I mean, there's
Kitties.
still probably people that bought it during the meme craze.
Yeah.
They're like, it's going to come back.
Well, the PE ratio is at 26.1 versus 23.3. Price of sales 3.1 versus 0.7. Price to book value 1.9 versus 3.5. And price of cash flow is expensive 20.2 versus 9.1. Now, over the last year, their earnings are up 340% versus 8.5 of the industry. I'm sure that's because previous year the earnings were very low. Sales, however, and I don't know what they even sell anymore. I mean, I think it's more of a gambling.
I still do like trading cards. Like I took my old Xbox in, and unfortunately they wouldn't take it because my controller was dusty or something stupid. But I went in. That was the first time I'd been in the store, and let me just say it's a little rundown. But they still have collectibles, cards, games, secondhand exchanges of video games, stuff like that.
So they're still doing retail business, but not very much because I say sales are down 12.1%. 5-year growth rate from the analysts is a negative 48.1%. So that's not good at all. They do not pay a dividend. Well, this is amazing. The current ratio, 10.4 versus 1.7. Quick ratio, 9.8. I'm going to look at the balance sheet, I think, when you're looking at your stuff, because they must have a lot of cash sitting there somewhere, or short-term investments. That's a lot to have. Net profit margin is good, 11.1 versus 3.2. Return on equity, 8 versus 19.5. And free cash flow, 569 versus 1.3 billion. So
well, that's kind of what I was talking about. Is Ryan Cohn's done some crazy stuff where they actually sold stock to, maybe buy Bitcoin or use it for investing purposes. So kind of trying to almost follow like a micro strategy type plan. And basically, I think he's doing anything to try and lift GameStop's stock's price. But of course, it's a lot of high risk stuff. But let's look at the current price for GameStop. Again, their ticker symbol GME. Current price $22.99. 52-week range. The low is $19.93 and the high $35.81. Over the last year, it really hasn't moved. It's gone down actually about 19%. Over the last 5 years, you are up 20%. But it's important to remember the GameStop craziness happened in January 2021. It spiked to $86.88. So if we look at this next month, the 5-year return is probably going to be a big decline.
yeah.
So this is, again, we're comparing that 5-year period where the craziness really started. But looking forward, there is an estimate for positive earnings. I go out to January 2027. Estimated earnings per share is 81 cents, gives us a target sell price of $13.45. I will say that's better than I anticipated, but important, just one analyst. I bet you a lot of these analysts are like, this isn't even a real company anymore. I don't even think I want to follow it.
Right. Look, I did look on the balance sheet and the cash, and back in 2023, they had $1.2 billion. They're now at $8.8 billion.
So I mean, he sold a bunch of stock to bring in cash, and people got all excited about it because they're big believers in the meme stock craziness.
Meme stocks and Bitcoin and everything else. Everything else that's crazy.